Welcome back to maintenance on an Alfa Romeo Spider. So today I'm going to change the front shocks. This should be pretty straightforward. Step one is loosen the lug nuts on the wheel, jack up the car, put it on jack stands, and then remove the wheel. And then we'll have access to the shock. I'm going to do both sides at the same time, and I'll come back to you after everything's up. Alright, so the car's jacked up. Took the tire off. I got the tire underneath the car, on my jack stands, everything. I like to be safe because you never know if one of these things is going to slip, sudden earthquake or whatever. So it's California. This is pretty easy to access. You can see this is nuts on top. There's two different sizes. The top one there is 17 millimeters, and this one right underneath it is 19. And then down here at the bottom, I don't know, I think that's a 17 millimeter nut as well. What I'm going to do is, just to make my life a little easier, I'm going to spray those all with a little bit of WD-40 just to kind of loosen them up, and then I'll take them all off in just another second. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I don't think you really need to watch me do this part, but you know, yeah, very simple, nice, easy to access. I think this will only take me like 15 minutes. Alright, so the nuts are removed from the top and down here at the bottom. Where is it? There it is. So all you really need to do is push down on the top here so that clears the bracket, and then it should come off the bottom. If it doesn't, I do have a hammer somewhere, but it looks like with a little bit of work I'll be able to get it out. I don't want to damage my tie rod, which is right next to it, so I'm going to be a little more careful with it, and I probably need to use both hands. Here it goes. There. And it was easy as pie. So now all I have to do is put the new one in. It's going to come out the same way it went in. I'm going to probably check out these donuts or the grommets here, see if they're any good. I might use the ones that came with the new shocks, although they are used shocks, so they might not be that good. And there should be nothing down here. Yep, that bolt is just fine. That just stays on. And yeah, soon I'll have new Koni shocks installed. Pretty easy. The way to put it back together is really just reverse the way you took it apart, so you probably don't need to see it. I'll show you what happens a little bit later though. Alright, so as you can see, the new shock is almost completely installed. I've got the bottom in here. The rubber down here was a little bit suspect. I sprayed it with silicone spray to try to make it a little more supple. Hopefully it worked. It just cracked a little bit, but I'm hoping that that's going to be okay because most of the rubber inside looked fine. It's just the edges here. I thought about buying a new rubber for this, but I didn't have a press, I didn't really have a way to get it out, and I wasn't even sure about the sizing for it. Like if the ones that I had didn't look quite right, so I brought them back. The top here, everything's in, or almost tightened all the way down. I've got the bottom here, if you can see that rubber, you press this down until it's expanded out to the width of the metal. I believe, at least that's what I saw online. So right now I've only got the first nut, the 19 millimeter one, then I'll put the top one on, which is the 17, just to lock it in place. But yeah, that's it. Pretty simple, didn't take me that long. I want to say it was only about a 20-minute procedure. I'll go to the other side, it's the exact same thing. And this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. This is the sort of thing that just about anyone could probably do if you've done any sort of maintenance on your car at all, if you've ever changed your brakes. This really is actually not that much harder than brake changing. It's probably easier as long as you have all the tools for it. One quick note, for the Alfa Spider at least, there's a lot less clearance here on this side, so you won't be able to use a ratchet. If you have a ratcheting wrench, that might be good. I'm going to have to use just regular wrenches, which is going to take a little time, so be prepared for that. Passenger side takes a little longer. Alright, that's it.